Hi, I'm Keira Newton, Master RKC from Santa Fe, New Mexico. I have 3 top tricks that I use for my straddle middle splits that I wanted to share with you today. You're going to need blocks, 2 of them, and I like to use little kettlebells, about 8 to 10 pounds, but you can also use ankle weights. So make sure you have these things available to you. And before I begin, I want to say that I'm assuming that you have been working on your middle straddle splits, that you already know some other variations that will help you get there, and that you just need a few things to push you in the right direction. So I would like to start with what most people actually do when they're working with their straddle middle splits is Frogger. So your shins are on the ground, feet underneath the knees, and elbows on the ground. So from here, all I do is press my hips back. And this is really common for people who are working their middle splits, something that they like to do. But what I have found in this position is that if you actually move in different ways, so if you move your chest and move your knees actually forward and back, and then come back to the frog, you've often already dropped down a little bit. Now for some people this is a really uncomfortable position, particularly in the back of the hip, so this I have found is better for those kind of people, including myself, which is just bring your feet together and press back into your frogging position, just as you did before, and then draw the hips forward and down. And see if you can get the feet down, and then press back. And for somebody like me, this is not the most comfortable position, but this helps me get better when I come back to frogging. Now the next variation is lengthen one leg and tuck the opposite foot underneath your butt. So you're bending at the knee and bring the straight leg out to the side and roll forward and back. So you can see there's a rotation in the hip, and that means my foot is dropping down and then coming up to the ceiling, and then once I do that I can drop down. So forward, back, down. Now I like to come straight down, meaning press the hips forward and bring yourself down. So that you're mimicking more of what a true middle split would be. So middle split isn't back with your butt, it's actually more straight down. So forward and back. A number of times. Once you've done that, come back to your frog and then see if you can just lengthen back from there. So all I did was straighten the leg and push myself back. And you'll feel that probably in the adductors quite a bit. So from there, you're going to need 1 to 2 blocks depending on your flexibility. And we're going to actually use the same leg position, but now I'm going to put my foot up on blocks. You don't need to have your splits to do this. It may look like you do, but you don't. So one foot is going to come up onto the blocks now. And the other foot, instead of being behind me, is going to be straight out to the side, mimicking a straddle. But I still have a V. I'm not actually full on splits right now. And all I want you to do is lean forward, come up through your straddle, and pull yourself down. So again, remember, it's that hips come forward and then drop down. And then you can come back out, forward, flex the foot, and down. Come out, forward, drop down, stay as low as you can, contract, release, contract, release, kneecap up toward the ceiling. And then sit the butt down if you can. Now, of course, this is extreme flexibility. So if you're not ready, you need to go lower in the blocks, like one block. Feel free to do that. And then from here, just straddle down. And come back up. And come out. Let's do it on the other side. Same thing. You could do a book or something like that as well. Same thing here. I'm going to press my body forward using all of the weight on the hands. So I have to be strong enough to hold my body up that way. Flexing. Organizing the hips straight down and pull down. And pull out and down. Breathing out. Each time thinking of the hips coming closer to the hands. Pull down, stay there. Breathe. And relax. And then come out. Same thing now with 2 blocks. 1 foot per block. Now, it's better for me if I'm a little bit higher, but it's also tippier. So you could use 2 at a time if you wanted, if you have 4 blocks, but I don't right now, so I'm just going to go lower. So I'm going to put 1 foot on, and this is going to take some coordination, but I want to get the other foot on the other block. It is good to have a slippery floor, by the way, because what I'm going to do is come from here. So first you can start with your feet just raised. Okay, this is less challenging. And then just come forward if you can, even if you're just grabbing the floor and walking yourself forward. But it's sort of a pancake position, trying to get those knees up. You can even hold the knees and pull yourself down. Or drop one shoulder down and the other shoulder down. Sinking in to your position. And then when you feel more comfortable in this raised straddle, you can, from there, as you did in the other position, lift. And if this is all you can do, then you just want to stay here and hold. All of these positions should sort of be held between 30 seconds and 2 minutes, so depending on how far you are in your flexibility training. But you're just pulling yourself down as best you can and then coming back out. And then once you come down, hold and breathe. And let that go. Pull it in gently because you're going to be a little bit looser now. Okay, so last but not least, this is my favorite one. For the gymnasts that I train, this almost always gets their splits. So this is with the kettlebells or the ankle weights. Obviously with the ankle weights, you just put them around your ankle, and getting against a wall for the ankle weights is a little bit better, but you don't have to do it. So your arms are as long as your legs. So you want to organize, if you're doing kettlebells, you want to organize the kettlebells so they're about as long as your arms. And this is a little funny, but I'm going to slip 1 foot in and bring the kettlebells up with my feet. And from here, I'm going to just take my hands and put them on the inner thigh or by the knee and gently press and let the weight, literally, of the kettlebells pull me deeper into my straddle position. And once you're there, think about moving again. So I like to think that I'm going to actually bring the kettlebells and drop them down to the ground and then gently roll back and out. And you want to do that a number of times. Breathing is so important here. And then when you reach the middle again, just relax into it and hold. And the way you get out of it is just take one leg, drop it, slip out, and hold the other leg though, because it's gonna drop down. Good. And gently roll out. And voila, you have your splits, or you're closer to them. Thanks for joining.